Dear believer, God is intentional about your struggles. You might have heard this somewhere else, but hold on, I'm coming from a different angle. Did you know that for every time the enemy fights you, it is because God is still in the business of entrapping the enemy with that same battle that he's bringing up against you? It's the all-knowing God. And he's not just the all-knowing God because we know it's in the Bible. It's very practical. When the enemy is fighting you, right, there's something he does. He allows the enemy to fight you because he intends to use that battle against him in judgment. Now I'll show you a scriptural backing. 1 Corinthians 2, it's the part that talks about none of the God of this world knew the plans of God, that if only they had known, they would not have crucified the King of glory. So the God of this world did not know that God's plan for redemption is that when he brings Jesus, his son, his only begotten son, to come into this world, and the enemy tries to kill him and harm him, that he's going to use that single act as an act of judgment against the enemy. So the God of this world did not know. They did not know from the beginning, from the get-go, from the plan, that this was God's plan this whole time. Just for you to understand that God is so intentional about your pain and whatever it is that you're going through. No matter how devil may appear, how big the devil may appear, just know that he is still under, like when I say he's still under the foot of God, he is, God is the God of free will as well. So God gives us the opportunity to choose. So he gives Satan the opportunity to choose what you want. But he had no idea. He had no idea that God was planning to use his choices against him. And so the moment he tried to betray, he tried to touch, he tried to put his hands on Jesus, and God caught him like this and said, yes, this is the place, this is the point that I will use that as a judgment against you. So that's the same way when you go through struggle. God is seated on his throne, patiently waiting for Satan to touch you, so that he is going to catch him like this and tell him, how dare you. If you have this knowledge, if you have this understanding, you're going to approach your struggles in a different way. You're going to approach it like a warrior, like becoming, because whatever this thing you throw at me, this scripture has been very, very awesome. God is ever intentional about your struggle. Not struggling because God is testing you. No, God doesn't test anybody. Even the Bible tells us, and I think in James, God doesn't tempt you. He doesn't. That's not who he is. He doesn't, because a lot of people